When Linus Torvalds first released the Linux kernel in 1991, he simply announced on a public message board that his project was just a hobby and that it wouldn't ever be big or professional. Today, a wide range of web hosting services, database server manufacturers, and supercomputing companies are designing their products around the Linux kernel because its operating system is far cheaper, more reliable, and more secure, resulting in faster time to market. The Android team opted for this approach, and Android is now the world's most widely used operating system, putting Linux into the pockets of billions of people worldwide. As an open source software, Linux utilized the hacker's ethos of relying on collaboration to build a better product that has always been at the core of the open source software movement. Open source projects allow anyone to use, study, change, and distribute the software and its source code freely and for any purpose. Today, most developers are paid by their companies to contribute to the Linux kernel by adapting it to new applications, but in doing so, they improve it for everyone else. Founded in the year 2000, the Linux Foundation is a non-profit organization that supports developers of the Linux kernel and other open source software projects. Jim Zemlin has served as its executive director for the past 15 years, and in January 2022, he was called to the White House to discuss a major security vulnerability in a widely used open source software project called Log4j, used by 30% of websites worldwide and often embedded beneath many layers of dependencies, making it difficult to detect. The Log4j vulnerability exposed the urgency and the need for a proactive approach to security within the entire open source software ecosystem, and Zemlin had been tasked by the White House to come up with a plan by spring 2022. Though the reach and influence of the Linux Foundation was considerable, the big question was how Zemlin would persuade developers and the corporations they worked for to prioritize open source software security, especially given the competitive dynamics at play within major tech companies that are not inclined to publicly acknowledge their security vulnerabilities. Moreover, the developer community itself has largely been incentivized to create features, not to fix bugs. To learn more about the options that Zemlin and his team were considering, please read The Berkeley Haas Case, Leading Through Influence at Scale, Open Source Security at the Linux Foundation by Henry Chesbrough.